breath and balance. Today we are going to start off in an easy pose so that we can start to breathe. Before we start, we are going to be doing alternate nostril breathing, which is touching the face. If you would like, go ahead and wash your hands. I'll wait a minute. Perhaps your hands are already clean, mine are. And we'll meet back here in, well, a minute. But as you do come in, just find a nice tall seat. You can sit on your blanket or even sit in a chair, flexing through the heels. And move into the neck and shoulders here. We're going to sit for 2 minutes of alternate nostril breathing and just have a little bit of stretch and openness into your muscles and joints before we do that. Shrug up into the shoulders. Right on cue, my co-star shows up. You can't see her, can you? My cat showed up. Oh, there she is. Okay. And reach your arms out and just open and roll open the shoulders and lift up the palms a few times. This is always a very telling one for me. I have been diagnosed by my massage therapist with crunchy shoulders. This place where I hold a lot of tension in the muscles, and then because of that, I start to lose mobility in my joints. And so here, as I open up, I hear a lot of that crunching, but then it starts to release. Reach your arms out away from you as much as you can and get back into your neck and shoulders. Fingers reaching purposefully away from you. Soft tuck to the chin. Lift tall through the spine, and in back of us, we're going to hold opposite elbows. So reach back behind you. If opposite elbows is too much, opposite wrists or palms is just fine. Notice which hand is up and which hand is down. Lift up through the crown of the head. Notice if you feel off balance. Our focus today is balance, and I noticed as I lengthened up, I started to lean back because my legs weren't quite where I need them to be to find that really nice foundation. So make sure you feel steady here. Close your eyes and take about 3 breaths into the space in your collarbones that you're opening up. Maybe even lift the face up, lengthening through the throat. And very simply flip your arms so that the opposite arm is on top, probably the palms. And listen to yourself breathe here. Fill into the space of your belly, fill into the space of your lungs. And reach your arms out to your sides again, fingertips to the earth, lengthen the arms. Reach over to the right side, and a few times just stretch and open into that left side body, coming up and then pressing over. Not going with the breath, but breathing nice and slow. And up and over through center, other side. Reach up and come to sit in staff pose. Notice which leg was in front for you. We're going to come into opposite leg to sit in our 2 minutes of alternate nostril breathing. Toes pressing up, heels pressing out, knees pressing down. Notice the length in your spine. And opposite leg comes in front, coming back to easy pose. And we'll sit in on alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to grab my timer here. Alternate nostril breath is great to do in the morning to create this balance and openness into the hemispheres of the brain. It's great just to watch the breath. This is one of those secret tools of a calm mind, is to be able to sit and watch your breath, no matter how it's coming in and out of the body. So we use our right hand to block the nostrils off. You'll use right thumb to block the right nostril, and the ring finger on the right finger to block the left. And alternate nostril breathing, it really is one of those, oh, the name says what it is, alternate nostril. So we'll start off blocking, and I'm just explaining now. You can go ahead and start, but we're going to start together here in just a moment, and I'll use the timer. So right nostril blocks off, and you inhale deeply through the left side. Inhale from the belly into the lungs. You have this fullness of breath. Then you block off the left nostril and exhale out of the right. And then you inhale right. And block it off, exhale left. And I like to think of it as this mountain. You're climbing up the mountain, inhaling left, and rolling down that mountain as you exhale right. And then you have to climb back up to the top through the right, and then back down through the left. So I'll lead us through the first few rounds, and then we're going to just drop in so that you can really feel the fullness of your breath and hear the fullness of your breath. Very happy Thursday, everyone. Here's our timer. So blocking off right nostril and left hand, you can just flip the palm up or come to sit in Gyan Mudra, where you bring the thumb and the first finger together. Right thumb to the right nostril. Inhale left. Block left off. Exhale right. Listen to the breath. Inhale right. Block it off. Exhale left. Inhale left. Block it off. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Keep going. Twenty more seconds. Keep going. Listen to the breath become fuller in the belly. Next time you exhale left, just concentrating on holding that pattern. Next time you exhale left, release your hands and return to a slow, natural breath. Right hand comes to rest on the right knee. And then notice that fullness coming back into the breath. It's very interesting how much the nostrils need each other to work, to bring that full breath in. Release your hands, and let's come on up and over into tabletop position. Blanket can stay there, because who doesn't like a little comfort under the knees? And take a moment here, roll into the ankles, maybe even bend into the elbows. You can come down to forearms. And sway the weight here, side to side. And return to tabletop position. Watching the breath in cat-cow, making it its own breath exercise, is something that I find to be deeply therapeutic. So I offer that today. As we move here, you're going to find some balance through cat-cow as you breathe deeply. Practice here, fill through the belly. Notice that unconscious tension that we hold at our core. And see if you can let it go. Especially this position, it's easy to notice when you let go of that tension that you didn't even know you had, and let the belly just relax toward the earth. Fullness of breath, starting from that open belly into the open lungs, all the way up into the throat, using your full capacity. And exhaling fully, the belly button squeezing gently toward the spine. And we'll start to move here with the breath. The belly stays soft, the heart and hips lift, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round, get rid of the breath slowly. The slower, the better here. Inhale. And exhale, keep going. Listen to the sound of your breath. 5 more slow rounds. Last one. Come back, tabletop position. Reach the right arm out. Notice the balance that has to come in as you switch your foundation. Roll into the right wrist. Right hand down, left arm reaches out. Adjust your balance. Eyes open or closed. Slow breathing. And come down to forearms. Stretch back through that left leg and press into the toes and press back through the Achilles tendon a few times. That heel rocking back and forth as you feel the stretch in the ball mat. Another side. Left knee comes down, right leg presses back. Both knees down, press back, child's pose. Take a moment with your breath here. Take a moment, set an intention. Take a moment and just open your heart. and up. We'll come down to our backs for a pigeon stretch. Since we are coming into flying pigeon, it's always nice to open into the hips beforehand. So roll those shoulders back and down. And first, bring that right ankle to that left thigh and stay here if you're comfortable, or hug in, flexing through the heel. You want this feeling that the leg is engaged, and you'll notice how that's almost a tree pose as well. We're really opening into those hips. And then as you are ready, you can hug in either just the leg or using the knee as well. Take a few breaths here, roll around here, side to side, hugging in and seeing where you can release that tension. Pigeon first thing in the morning is typically, oh, good morning, hips. Also end of the evening, midday, afternoon, all the time. Back to center and left side. Flexing through the heel, hugging in, and then move here, trying to open through any stuck feeling that you have. Trying to move through any tightness. Slow exhale. And both legs come down to the earth. Stretch the legs long on the earth. And then once you're there, flex out through the heels as though you're standing on the ground. Roll the shoulder blades back behind you. The legs are active here, knees pressing down toward the earth, heels flexing out. Slow, easy breath. Reach your arms up overhead, palms pressing up. And then bend into the right knee and open it out as though you're standing or laying in a standing tree pose. Arms reaching up, that left heel standing on the earth, right knee opening out and open through everything. Even feel as though you're lifting up a little. Feel energy from the bottom of the foot to the tips of the fingers, really opening up your potential here. Right knee comes back to center. Keep the sole of the right foot on the earth. And then lift up into the left leg, reaching up and find the shin, the calf, or if you're very, very open, maybe those toes. But we're going for a straight left leg, practicing our warrior three. Warrior three on the ground tends to be a little bit more intense than warrior three standing for the hamstrings, not for the balance. So here, you can hold onto the thigh or the shin. You can stay with bent right leg, or possibly stretch it out and find that shape here, both heels flexing out. And take a few breaths. Press down through the sit bones and lift up through that left heel, and just notice how that small act increases the stretch in the back of the leg tremendously. Inhale. Exhale, hug that left leg in a little more. And then bring the sole of the left foot down to the earth. Flex out again through the right leg, and left knee opens out. Arms reach up, palms pressing up, and energize from the bottom of the foot to the tips of the fingers. Breathe deeply here. Left knee comes back to center, sole of the left foot to the earth. This is your part of your foundation. Right leg presses up, arms reach. And you can either interlace around the thigh or up on the shin, flexing up through that heel. Press down through the sit bones, and if it's okay, that left leg starts to go long, flexing through both heels. Take a breath or two. Try to get those hamstrings to release. If your leg is shaking, don't worry, so is mine. And right knee comes down, or right knee bends, sole of the foot comes down to the earth. Keep the right leg as it is. Left ankle comes to cross at the thigh and hug in, pigeon stretch. This time we'll hold our pigeon stretch. Use the strength of your arms to really hug in and slow your exhales down. When you can open into the hips like this repeatedly through the claps, when you can open into the hamstrings like this repeatedly through the claps, this is where you find that everlasting change that keeps you moving easier and better tomorrow and next week. Another slow breath, hug in, feel that steadiness. And bring it down, switching sides. Right ankle comes to cross at the left thigh. Hug in as you're ready. Really use those arms to create that tension. Use the exhales to relax that right hip. And slowly come down, unwinding the legs. Right knee, right leg goes long on the earth, flexing through the heel. Left knee opens out, finding our tree pose. Just like in our tree pose, if you can, reach down and bring that heel closer toward the groin and press out through the left knee. Laying back down, arms reach up, and then find that energy from the base of the foot all the way up into the fingertips. Palms of the hands up. Breathe. Creating this inner serenity, cultivating this stability so that when you bring these poses upright and on one foot, you have this same steadiness. One more breath. Sole of the left foot comes to the earth. Left knee stays bent. Right leg starts to reach up toward the ceiling and bring those arms to help you into that hamstring stretch. If this is enough for you, you don't have to bring that left leg long. If it's okay, you will. Flexing through both heels and feeling that openness in the back of the hamstrings. Sit bones press firmly into the ground as that right heel presses up. When you open into tight hamstrings, it's almost like that pain that makes you want to giggle like, whoo, I can't believe I was that closed off in my hamstrings. Take a breath. And bring right foot down to the earth. Open the right knee out. Reaching down, find the heel as you can, bring it as close to the groin as you can, and then flexing down through the knee, flexing out through the left heel. Reach the arms up and find that slow, long breathing. Breathing vitality and youth and health into your cells, into your lungs. Using your practice to refresh. Right knee comes in. Left leg lifts up and arms come to help you into that hamstring stretch. Flexing up through the heel and right leg stretches if that's appropriate. Moving into that stretch as far as you can without a bend in the knee, trying to keep the knee straight, the heel flexed, and that sit bone pressing down. And bend into the left knee, bend into the right knee, and come to bound angle pose. Stretch your arms up overhead, take a deep inhale, knees pressed toward the earth. Exhale out of the mouth and then curl the knees to the belly, maybe even bring the forehead up to the knees. And roll on over, come on up, tabletop, and then downward facing dog, pedal it out. Slow, easy breaths. As you inhale, bend into your knees, look forward. Exhale, step up, find your fold. Half lift, heart lifts, and fold. Press through your feet, reverse your swan dive, stretch the arms up and bring your hands to your heart, thumbs to the sternum, Tadasana pose. Take a few breaths, notice your balance, notice your steadiness. Move into two sun A's, two Surya Namaskar A, with our breath to find a little bit of openness into the body, but really using this very straightforward practice as a breath exercise as well. And here we'll engage in Ujjayi breathing, that constriction right there at the top of the nose, and that very loud inhale and exhale through the nose, filling into the belly, the lungs, and all the way up into the shoulders. Stand in your Tadasana pose, 2 more breaths. Now as you inhale, press down, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold in. Half lift. Step back, plank pose, take an extra breath. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, knees, then chest and chin come down. Hips down, tops of the feet down, cobra pose. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths, listen.
Arms engaged, shoulders reaching away from the hands, pressing the weight firmly into the circle of the hands, with about 8% more pressing to the inside of the index finger and the thumb. Hips pressing up. One more breath. Inhale, knees bend, look forward. Exhale, step up, forward fold. Half lift. And fold, listen to your breath. All the way up. Reach through the arms, stretch. Hands to your heart. One more, inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Step back, plank pose, extra breath. Inhale. Knees, chest, chin. Heart lifts. Hips press down. And downward facing dog. Inhale slowly and deeply. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale, knees bend, look forward. Exhale, step up, find a fold. Half lift. And fold. All the way up. Hands to your heart. Take a breath. Let it out. Press the weight to the right foot. Inhale, left knee comes out parallel. And then step back, find a high lunge. The two mats doesn't necessarily work for balance here. So if you're anything like me and on two mats, you can step to the floor for that balance. Left leg pressing back. Stay up in this high lunge and lift up through the spine. Shoulders relaxed. Right knee over the ankle. Reach the arms up and breathe. Eyes forward. If you did bring a chair in for your practice today, I would invite you to put it somewhere right about here. Because we're going to be going forward into warrior three, or yes, warrior three. And then we're going to be standing up for our seated pigeon, or our flying pigeon, and then our tree pose. So hopefully everyone has their chair if they're grabbing it. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Firming into that right leg. Keep the knee bent as you come forward. And then straighten left leg. Flex out through the left heel and take a breath. Keep your arms reaching. Come up. Find your tree pose. Foot pressing to the shin or the thigh. Inhale here. And that ankle's going to come to position right on top of the thigh. Hands to your heart. And then sit back and down into a one-legged chair pose or flying pigeon. Your hands can reach forward to the chair. Eyes quiet, sit back and down. And slowly lift up. Back to Tadasana pose. Hands relax, shift the weight. And feet come together. Hands at your sides, weight shifts to the left foot, right knee comes up, and then stretch it back. Find a high lunge, that left knee bending. Reach your arms up, long torso, eyes quiet. Several smooth breaths here. Just noticing foundation and cultivating that steadiness. Eyes on the ground, about 6 feet in front of you. It's almost as though you're reaching for that spot. Left leg is firm. We're launching forward. So keep a little bend in that left leg till you find your balance and then press through both heels. Inhale. Exhale, fly forward, warrior 3. Take a breath. Keep the arms reaching, come up. Find your chair pose. Little wobbles are okay. Just correct them. Eyes quiet on the ground. And then right ankle crosses, left thigh, hands to your heart, eyes steady. And when you're ready, sit back and down for your flying pigeon pose. One-legged pigeon pose, chair pigeon pose, no one knows. One more breath. And slowly come up, find Tadasana pose, and move into the wrists. That right there was a lesson in why you always watch the ground instead of the teacher. If she's off balance, you are too. Step to the top of your mat. Tadasana pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Step back, downward dog. Inhale. Right foot reaches up, 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 coming to reclined pigeon. I'm sorry, forward fold pigeon. Right knee starts to come to the outside edge of that right wrist. I lost anatomy there for a second. And then press that left leg back, hands pressing in. Find this stretch, this moving stretch in your pigeon. Press down, reach up. Another side. Left leg reaches up, find that stretch. And then left knee comes up and through, staying uplifted. If you're up here, that's okay. You'll still find that little bit of movement. Finding that length and that softening through the front of the right hip and the outer left hip. Press into the hands and downward dog. Slowly rock forward. Find your plank pose. Bring your knees down. Bring your forearms down and bring your belly down. Roll to the right hip. Left leg comes out. Heel pressing toward the groin. Trying to keep an active feeling here. And reach forward with the arms. Fingertips pressing in, forehead to the earth. You can even tuck into the right toes, an active reclined tree pose here. Take a breath and pay particular attention here to that left hip and left thigh as you have this assistant in the floor to help you open. And hands come back under shoulders. Reach the right leg back. Roll to that was the left hip. Right knee goes out. Opposite leg goes out for your tree pose. And laying back down, arms reach forward, forehead to the ground, and left toes tuck. It's interesting what happens to your left and right sides when you go face down on the earth. And slowly press up. Hands under shoulders, right leg comes back. Press through hands and knees and come up and downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. If you're comfortable in downward dog, this is almost mimicking that three-legged dog. If you're not comfortable though, you can stay down or come into a modified version with right knee on the ground and left leg lifting up. Just going through the length in the legs here that we find in our warrior three. And second side. And downward facing dog. Knees bend, look forward. And exhale, step up, find a fold. Half lift. And fold. Press through the feet, reach through the arms, stretch. And hands to your heart. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to move a little into a fun variation of our three flying poses. So I'm going to step to my mat. Feel free to grab a chair if you didn't already, or a wall, and just try to have a little fun with it. Balance is one of those things that's constantly recalibrating and something that we feel we have to be good at. But I know from experience that your brain needs to be there. You need to have this concentration, at least to begin with, until it becomes this innate ability of yours. But to have this awareness, balance is balance. So toes come to touch, top of your mat or stepping on your ground. Hands to your heart. Press the weight to the left foot. Right knee comes up. Already steady here. Step the right foot back, high lunge. Come up to this lifted spine. Bring your hands down to your sides. Palms press back behind you and even broaden through the shoulder blades, through the collarbones. We're going to press forward into warrior three, and I want you to have this very strong superhero flying feeling in your body, making chest bigger. Inhale. Press forward to that left foot, eyes on the earth. Exhale. Reach the arms back or fly forward. Breathe. Finding steadiness, reach the arms up. Tree pose, right leg comes to the left. Hands to your heart. Right ankle to the left thigh. And sit back and down. Reach it up. And press into warrior three. Stretch forward. Inhale. Come up, tree pose. Inhale. Exhale, sit back, flying pigeon. Hands at your heart. Maybe you'll bring fingertips to the earth. Maybe you'll try to straighten into that left leg as you fold forward. Come up, flying pigeon. And come up, Tadasana pose. Hands to your sides. Breathe. Palms flex back behind you, broadening through the shoulders. Shift the weight to the right foot. Left knee comes up. And then shifting yourself off balance so that you can find that balance. Lift up into your high lunge here, eyes focused. Really broad through the shoulders, reaching down through the fingers. Inhale. Fly forward as you exhale. Hands can stay reaching back or reaching forward. Where are you flying today? Inhale, coming up, tree pose, arms reach. Breathe, steadiness. Hands to your heart, left ankle to the thigh, and sit back and down. Second side typically goes easier. Now that you know we're going to hit each pose for one more breath, notice if you're able to hold steadiness a little easier. Inhale, reach forward, warrior three. Exhale, come up, tree pose. Inhale. Exhale, sit back and down. Pigeon pose. From here, hands can come to the earth. You can straighten into the right leg as you fold forward. This is not for everyone. Take a breath. Bend into the right knee. Bring the left foot to the earth and fold forward. Step back, dog pose. And knees lower, child's pose. Notice what's happening in your body right now. Bringing yourself purposefully off balance, bringing yourself purposefully into this place of exertion can help you to cultivate calm when those situations come up unexpectedly. So return to a slow breath. Notice where you're holding tension, where you're feeling a lot of activity. And let everything start to soften. Slowly lift up. Make your way either to a tabletop or a dog pose and just stretch into the back of your body. Release any tension that you might have. Slow open mouth exhales. Toes come together. Right foot reaches, even if you're in a tabletop, reach the right foot back and slide the right knee up into position. If forward fold pigeon is not for you to rest in, you can come down to your back for recline, that first pigeon that we were in the beginning of class. Slide the left leg back. You can use a pillow or cushion under the hip, that right hip, to create some height, to bring the floor closer to you. And then start to walk forward as it feels good. Slight flex to that right leg. And the closer the heel is to the hip, the softer that the stretch is, the more parallel it is, the more intense. So find where you're comfortable and then fold in. Breathe deeply into the back of your body. And give that right hip time to soften. Gently walk the hands in. Move here, slowly side to side, before you release your pigeon. And then 5 more breaths, same side, walk forward. Work yourself back in, hands in place for downward dog or tabletop. And start to move back to center. And second side, left leg reaches. You can start to move it into position. Never rush that fold forward. Always make sure that you set yourself up in your best alignment, and then start to soften over the left leg, breathing, using that exhale to release into the hip. Continually aware of that left hip. Don't let tension creep in, just continually soften. Eyes can stay closed. Walk your hands in and move gently here side to side. See what was able to release and what still needs to release, and make any adjustments you need. And slowly fold forward again. 5 slow breaths, the exhale slower and longer than the inhale. Bringing the body down to that state of relaxation for maximum benefit. Slowly walk yourself back in. Dog pose or table. And then as you're ready, knees down and come on down to your back. Socks and sweatshirt back in. Starting to move to our Shavasana. Shavasana is one of those ever-changing poses, just like any other. And believe it or not, there's times to relax in a long, deep Shavasana, and there's time to relax in a shorter one. And this time of year, typically we need a little bit shorter rest because we're trying to wake up from the hibernation that we just went through. So as you're ready, settle down into Shavasana, legs long and arms long. Feel your legs relax. Soften the ankles and the calves. Soften into the backs of the knees and the kneecaps. Feel the hamstrings and the hips relax their effort now. The spine, the shoulders, the back of the head, all resting comfortably. Feeling balanced, feeling strong, and feeling loved. And I invite you to rest. Start to deepen your breath. Exhale. Notice the sense of calm and balance that you created through your practice today. And carry it with you throughout your day. Move your blanket to the side, turn to your right side, and take a few breaths. And then as you're ready, come up into a comfortable seated position. Hands at your heart, that gesture of gratitude. And we'll end class with the sound of three ohms. A slow, deep inhale. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.